Chapter 762. Red Fiend Divine Boat. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. The main auction has ended. Next there will be a 2-hour break for everyone to move around in the auction hall. 2 hours later, we will have the open transaction. After Qinbai Sheng said that, he left the stage. He was tired, as the host the entire time, especially when he auctioned the essence of the luck path true inheritance. Because his own benefits were at stake, he made many schemes during the process. Even though there were many traces and most of the Gu immortals present could tell, the profits were too immense. Qinbai Sheng could not care less. After this auction is over, I will escape and hide from the world. After managing and processing my gains for most of a century, I will roam the world after that, Qinbai Sheng decided in his head. He was the biggest winner of this auction. The immortal materials he obtained could pile into a mountain. He also obtained many metal path immortal Gu that were compatible with him. The saying goes, humans die for wealth and birds die for food. Profits could move the human heart, even if Gu immortals ordinarily appeared to be unconcerned with worldly matters. That was only because mortal materials cannot satisfy their desires. Auctioning the essence of the luck path. True inheritance was extremely profitable. It was greatly heated. Even the rank 7 expert, Qinbai Sheng, had felt uneasy. In the main hall, discussions soon commenced. Many Gu immortals came out of the single rooms and mixed into the group, engaging in conversations together. Qinbai Sheng left a 2-hour break for everyone. He had his own intentions. It was not really a time to rest, but it was for the Gu immortals to communicate with each other and interact. From the auction earlier, everyone had gained a certain level of understanding towards each other's resources. Now, to exchange for the things they wanted, they would naturally need to interact first. Tuor Fangyuan and Tai Baiyun Sheng sat in the secret rooms and did not move. Unfamiliar face was a mortal killer move. It had limited effect, and the two had to be careful. They could not expose themselves. Fang Yuan felt some regret that he was unable to obtain anything in the luck path true inheritance, especially Ma and Zhao, the people who knew the truth of the imperial court incident. Fang Yuan wanted to deal with them, but he did not have enough strength. He could only watch and could not interfere. There was nothing he could do. Thankfully, he had not sold the Gu immortal captives in his hands yet. There was the open trading later. He could still look forward to that. 2 hours later, Qinbai Sheng stepped onto the stage again, announcing the start of the open transactions. For the sake of fairness, he did the same thing again, using Gu worms to choose a lucky person to enter the stage first. This first Gu immortal took out a large amount of an immortal material, broken wave flowers. His request was prosperity soil. Broken wave flowers grew in large rivers. They were magical flowers born during the moments where waves appeared and vanished. Because they had a short lifespan, they were hard to gather. As for prosperity soil, diamond soil, green fist soil, these soils were highly sought-after items by Gu immortals. Gu immortals developed their immortal apertures. They used the resources produced in their immortal apertures to cultivate. The fertility of their soil played a huge role in this. Prosperity soil could grow all sorts of flowers. Diamond soil could grow minerals, while green fist soil could accumulate and gather the fertility to prevent it from vanishing. It was suited for immortal apertures with terrain resembling barren lands, like deserts. Gu immortals who owned prosperity soil were not few. Immediately they started speaking, asking how much was needed for the trade. The seller on the stage actually had large numbers of broken wave flowers. After trading for 1,500 kilograms of prosperity soil, he waved his hand and left the stage. The difference between the auction and the open transaction was very obvious. The auction was for valuable items. They had a huge prerequisite for bidders. The open transaction often involved scattered trades. The entry level was low. But this was not universal. After several Gu immortals, a Gu immortal who did not want to expose themselves showed an immortal Gu and asked Qinbai Sheng to sell it for them. This immortal Gu was one that did not get sold earlier. The seller had lowered their requirements greatly. But even so, the request was still an immortal Gu. There were a few people who responded. They wanted the price to be lower. The seller refused, and eventually the trade failed, and this immortal goo returned to the seller's hands. When it was Fang Yuan's turn, more than 30 rounds had passed. The 37th secret room is selling a goo immortal captive, Qin Bai Sheng said as he displayed the sleeping goo immortal inside the sleeping cloud coffin. Immediately, the auction hall went into a commotion. The slave trade industry was well known by every immortal, but to sell goo immortals like they were slaves, this was an extremely rare event. For many goo immortals, this was the first time they had seen it. At once, goo immortals discussed, as their expressions varied. When Qin Bai Sheng announced it again, the scattered conversations in the hall became softer. Someone asked for the details. Qin Bai Sheng introduced. This goo immortal captive might be familiar to some of you. He is Loner Hong Yu, a rank 6 fire path goo immortal. His cultivation is at 1 heavenly tribulation. This is the situation inside his blessed land. You can all take a look. Saying so, the image on the stage changed, reflecting the situation of Loner Hong Yu's immortal aperture. This blessed land is a little barren. Yes, managing his blessed land so poorly, no wonder he was captured alive. Don't forget, the goo immortal who captured him must have already looted his blessed land already. To us fire path goo immortals, isn't it better if this Loner Hong Yu's cultivation is lower? The goo immortals were moved. Fire path goo immortals had great demand for Loner Hong Yu's immortal aperture. Once they swallowed his blessed land, they could skip 1 heavenly tribulation, many earthly calamities, and gain cultivation levels out of nowhere. The foundation of their blessed land would surge by a huge amount. Even if one was not a fire path goo immortal, most of the goo immortals also wanted the blessed land. Even if their paths were different and they could not swallow the blessed land, they could still occupy this ownerless blessed land after killing him and obtain a good territory to manage. If they managed it well, the blessed land would be like a source of treasures, producing resources endlessly, sustaining the goo immortals' cultivation needs. Just as Qin Bai Sheng had expected, Loner Hong Yu became a sought-after commodity. Fang Yuan listed a broad range of requests. First, he listed a large amount of immortal materials. Next was killer moves from Strength Path, Poison Path, Time Path, and Wisdom Path. Next was all sorts of goo recipes. The rarer they were, the better. After that, he asked for desolate beast corpses, Food Path inheritances or clues for them, Wisdom Path inheritances or clues, Time Path inheritances or clues. Finally, he asked for Battlebone Wheel Goo, the recipes for Whitebone Chariot, Lifespan Goo, and others. Eventually, Loner Hong Yu went into 5 Elements Grandmaster's hands. 5 Elements. Grandmaster cultivated metal, wood, water, fire, earth, all 5 paths. Loner Hong Yu's immortal aperture was useful to him. After selling Loner Hong Yu, the next person was up. According to the rules of the open transaction, each goo immortal could only sell 1 thing in each round. This was for fairness. Fang Yan was not anxious. He patiently waited. After some rounds, he had sold more than half of his goo immortal captives. Not only did he finish Langya Land Spirit's checklist, he even had extra. Not only this, Fang Yuan also obtained the corpse of a desolate beast bat. During this period of time, he noticed that he was not the only one selling goo immortal captives. Old ancestor Shuohu and Heavenly Lord Baizu sold them openly. The Eastern Sea Goo Immortal sold 3 immortal zombie bodies, causing the displeasure of Yin Liu Gong and Dragon Commander Ye Cha. But in the end, Yao Huang joyfully bought these 3 immortal zombie bodies. After seeing this, Fang Yuan relaxed a bit. Lang Yalan Spirit was not the only one capable of capturing goo immortals. No matter how excellent you are, there is always someone more excellent than you. There were more capable people among other goo immortals. During this period of time, Fang Yuan had changed his room continuously, obscuring his traces and preventing others from finding out that he was the person who was selling most of the goo immortal captives. Gradually, more and more goo immortals stopped trading. They chose to watch on the sidelines. They had basically accomplished their respective goals. The remaining goo immortals, even though they were few in number, the goods they were selling were getting more precious and valuable. By the ninth round, Gu Immortals were starting to leave. Just as Fang Yuan thought that the last of his Gu Immortal captives would be sold routinely, Qin Bai Sheng's expression changed as he received a major request from a lone cultivator. He raised his voice as he said, "Next we will be selling the complete Gu recipe of the Immortal Gu House, Red Fiend Divine Boat, as well as the method to use it. The seller is requesting for anything that can assist them in cultivating Woodpath." "What? Red Fiend Divine Boat? They are selling this Immortal Goo House? Why are they selling it now? The auction is nearing its end. Haha, the people who left earlier must be dying of regret." In two single rooms, Yinlu Gong and Dragon Commander Yecha had very ugly expressions. Zombie Alliance was trying to eliminate the Gu Immortal who was selling the Red Fiend Divine Boat recipe, but this lone cultivator was very good at hiding. They could not find a chance to strike. At the auction, Zombie Alliance could not make a move on him. They could only urge him and offer a high price. But this lone cultivator was swayed by the atmosphere of the auction. He became greedy and demanded even higher prices, extorting and threatening Zombie Alliance. Finally, just earlier, their discussions had ended in failure, with the lone cultivator immediately putting up the Red Fiend Divine Boat recipe for sale. "I will pay 6,000 Immortal Essence Stones and 1,500 kilograms of red refinement metal to buy it all. Immortal Farmer Soil. I have 4,000 kilograms of Immortal Farmer Soil. I will use it all to exchange for the Red Fiend Divine Boat recipe." "You bunch of fools, didn't you hear Brother Chin's words? The seller wants Woodpath resources. I have Jade Fallen Grass here. So what if it is Jade Fallen Grass? I have Instinct Roots." At once, everyone's moods were riled up, as the representatives of the super forces and the Rank 8 great experts joined in. The two leaders of Zombie Alliance were furious, but they had to join in the competition. At once, the calm, open transaction had turned into a battlefield, like they were back in the auction rounds. The allure of the Red Fiend Divine Boat recipe was obvious from this. "I am willing to pay with a Woodpath Immortal Goo in exchange for the Red Fiend Divine Boat recipe." Soon, the representative of a super force Hmong tribe shouted, "My Yuan tribe also has a Woodpath Immortal Goo. We will also add in 300 true martial carps." Yuan Rongzun shouted. The Red Fiend Divine Boat recipe was too alluring. He even used his precious true martial carps as part of the bid. "If you let my Zombie Alliance purchase this, I, Yin Lu Gong, will vow this on my reputation. I will definitely resell this recipe," Yin Liu Gong said coldly. "I, Yao Huang, can attest for that." Soon after, Yao Huang spoke, adding weight to these words. "I have a wisdom path, Immortal Goo. Unravel mystery. It can deduce all traces of any inheritance. I will add in 3 vats of Lingzai liquid," Heavenly Lord Baisu shouted. At once, shouting could be heard everywhere. It was a chaotic scene. Fang Yuan's heart was moved. His eyes burst with brilliant light. If he did not hear wrongly, that was the Unravel Mystery Immortal Goo, correct?